Hello, it's UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. Option Millionaires, thanks for joining me. It is June 1st, 2012, first day of June. Started off really big for the Bears. Stocks were gapping down already overnight, and then we had some beautiful lack of job numbers at 8:30, and that brought stocks down a little more, and we sold off to close at the low of the session. Yes, beautiful day for buyers of puts and also buyers of calls for inverse ETFs and ETNs. Oddly enough, the dollar was weaker today. That helped bolster gold and silver, although gold and silver were likely in play due to expectations for more easing from the central banks. Who would have guessed it? Easing again? Get out of here. I thought that was supposed to be enough. QE1, QE2, ZERP. Let's go on to the SPY. This is the S&P 500 ETF. I pointed out earlier this week, I believe it was Monday night, when we hit double top here at 134. I had this beautiful bear flag drawn. I wanted to show you, if you didn't know what a bear flag was, to look at a bull flag. A bull flag is basically a price moving higher on a stock or an ETF, ETN, and hitting, or even a currency. It all depends what you're trading. And then hitting a channel here. This would be a bull flag consolidation, and then we're going to move higher. Let me show you exactly. Let me just draw one more line, make it a little more clear, like this. There you go. That's more like it. And so now we go in the, we'll call it an inverse bull flag, a bear flag. It's like inverse head and shoulders. Goes in the opposite direction of a head and shoulders. I could show you a little both, but let's just finish this off. We had stocks hitting a lower high earlier, actually the start of May. I was going to say earlier this month, but it's now June. So last month, the start of last month, we had stocks hitting a lower high from the high we hit in April, and then falling into a consolidation pattern here after hitting a low here. And now we have a bear flag. I noted this as well yesterday, saying we broke through it and closed above it. We didn't see a definitive break. I would have much rather if it just closed a little bit under it. I would have felt a little more confident, but now I am very confident. Downside again. And if you might recall a couple weeks ago, I did say line in the sand here, and we broke it. So it has been a relatively easy call. Let me go back and just talk a little bit more about what I was talking about several weeks ago when I was talking about last summer. Remember up here, we had a high and a lower high. Same thing we had the last 2 months. We had a high and a lower high, and then weakening. And I was talking about buying puts here. You can look at the action we've had recently, and we were down 3 or 4%. And when I was updating my charts, I said, even above this trend line, I said, who would be buying puts here? I mean, you would think we're already down 4 or 5%, and in 2012, up until about March, we rarely were down. So who was to say we were going to continue to fall? But if you look at this, and I like to call cascading waterfall that we had last summer, where stocks just continued to fall, I said there was a chance we could see the same thing. And then we bounced and we hit the bear flag. And now we're back to the same type of possibility. And I drew this trend line many weeks ago here. This is where I think ultimately we will see a bounce if we don't bounce sooner. The point being, even here at these levels, should we drop another 7-8% on the SPY stocks individually, some of them might fall even further. Some of the ones, I'll go through a couple tickers that have a lot farther to fall. You look at stock like WYNN that was $15 in 2008. If we get some sort of deflationary sell-off, which we could be in the early stages of, you could be looking at that stock going back into the 30s and 20s. That'd be some move, and a very profitable one if you get in ahead of the herd, which is what we could be looking at here, which is why I was saying back up here at 38, 39, 138, 139 at SPY that this cascading waterfall, we could still be in the early stages. Even now, we have plenty more room to fall should this come to fruition. And we just broke out of that bear flag, so all signs pointing toward weaker stocks. And that's exactly what the Fed wants, because the weaker the stock market gets, the more support they will have to reinflate asset prices, which is what they're best at. and what they know how to do and what they want to do. So that's the SPY, yes. A stock like WYNN, we'll go back 5 years on WYNN. Look at WYNN was 160 last summer before plunging, but we can go back even farther than that and look back in 2008, and we fell from 120 down to $12 a share. So we could be right up here with WYNN. We're in the 90s now. We broke 100. Another chart I really like to show. I was today. At midday. I was in 3 option trades, all calls, all betting for upside, and I was in silver, gold, and FCX. FCX only because gold and silver were up and GDX was up. But look at FCX. This I drew many, many months ago. This impending head and shoulders pattern, and it's really coming to fruition. The neckline is at 27. We break that, and we're looking at a possible run to the 2008-2009 lows, which was really $17. But FCX did a forward split to decrease their share price, increase the amount of shares in circulation. So we could see a dramatic drop in FCX if this chart pattern comes to fruition, which it very well may. But today, FCX was up. It was actually up over 1.5%, as was silver and gold. I did a post on the blog. I'd like to sing for you tonight, but my voice is a little choppy. But it goes with all those Christmas carols, silver and gold, yes. Silver and gold decorations on every money tree, and that's what silver call holders were doing today. I see a nice consolidation pattern here. Silver, I do believe, is going back over $30. $30. Silver, SLV, the ETF to track silver that you could trade, and I think it's going over $30. Gold was up over 4% before pulling back today. Gold was a great trade today. I got in right near the lows on the dip. It's the 5-year chart sitting at major support. This line should be going across, and it isn't, but you can see if it continue going across, because I haven't updated it. If it continue going across, there we go. Look at that. And it's not cooperating with me because, it knows it's being recorded. A little shy. But if you continue that line across, major support, we bounced off it today, and I do think silver is going to head back over 180. I mean, not silver, gold. Silver, yes, 180. I'll be sitting pretty. Heck, it could just do 50 or 60 next week. I'll be sitting pretty. Or 40. Or 35, for that matter, when you're trading stock options. I mean, look, a 20% move in silver is a 20% gain. But if you're holding the stock options, you're looking at, gosh, 2,000, 3,000% gain. And that's why we trade stock options. Shh, don't tell your friends. It's a secret. Let's move on a couple more stocks. Caterpillar. Caterpillar broke ahead of 86. This was the major support I've been talking about now for many, many weeks, most notably yesterday. And we broke above it. And then we fell below it at the close, as all stocks closed right around the lows of the days, save for the ones that bounced a little bit. And let's get into Netflix. Netflix at a new 52-week low today, right at the open. If you had played Netflix for a bounce right at the open, you could have purchased the 62.50 calls for, I believe, 18 cents, and they went to $1.80. It's not bad for a quick trade. And I think all of that gain was made right here within the first hour and 45 minutes of trade. Netflix actually went in the green today. It went green. It closed red, almost 1% down. Closed in the green. How about First Solar? What a great stock. We've highlighted this many times on Option Millionaires. As far as trading for a bounce, which has worked great for us many times, one time to the tune of several hundred to 1,000%, depending on which strike you bought. But we've also wrote about FSLR, First Solar, becoming a penny stock. This was when the stock was in the $60 range. $70 range. We wrote that every penny stock, every penny stock was going to become every solar stock was going to become a penny stock, and that was back in November around here. And look at the carnage here. So we hit another new 52-week low. Eventually, the stock will bounce, and it will be a nice trade. But until then, we'll stay away. Trade it for quick bounces. I traded RIG. As I say, this market is manipulated. So why not play RIG? I thought we had a inverse head and shoulders here. And we did get a pop. This is the pop I traded right here. I traded this pop for a great profit, and rig hasn't seen the light of day since. And I haven't traded it since until today. I traded it very quickly at the end of the day for a nice 100% profit as the stock was holding in the green while everything else was falling to bits and pieces. So I believe I bought right in here the $41 calls. I believe this is where the price was. I don't remember the price. I just remember the price of the options. And I got out at 20 cents. I believe they went up to almost 30 cents. So that was a nice intraday option expiration trade where you can make a quick double. You see a stock that's beaten down that in spite of the carnage throughout the sector and everywhere else, although ExxonMobil wasn't down horrifically, was down less than 1%, but rig was down and it came back. We had a nice run up from 11 o'clock on and it kept going. And I got in on the momentum and I got out near the top. Let's go to LVS again. I wanted to show you my trade yesterday and what happened today. I went over yesterday in my update. Las Vegas Sands, they like full round numbers, especially with this stock. I bought in the calls at $45. Nice round number. I sold out at 46. Nice round number. Look how we pulled off. We hit it again, pulled back, and then broke higher. And then today we gapped down. And look at the low for today, right around 42. Same thing, whole number before we bounced. Just want to go over a few stocks. It was a great week. Great week if you're a bear, or great week if you were buying the dips and selling the rips. That's what you're going to be doing if you're buying short-term options. If you're trading penny stocks, I feel bad for you. Stock options are the place to be. There's no doubt about it in my mind. If you have a small amount of money to invest, I think options provide the greatest potential for return. I had a class last weekend. You can send me a private message on iHub. Send me an email at upbstock@gmail.com. And if I get enough people to respond, maybe I will run a beginner's class like I did last week. I did it during the trading session, but I can do it Sunday, Saturday night, Monday morning, whatever everyone feels comfortable with. Just to get you familiar with stock options, because I do think it's a great place to be. So this is UPB from optionmillionaires.com. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and I'll have a nice Outlook update on Sunday night. Take care.